This dishwasher boy built a $5 trillion empire from the table of a Denny's diner. He pitched the business plan over cheap coffee in 1992, and 34 years later, his company makes $20 million every single hour. Not from the safe bet, but from a gamble nobody believed in that crushed entire industries and took over the AI space, the gaming industry, and even all of your app algorithms. And just as he started winning, the government moved to bring him down. Jensen Huang was born in Taiwan in 1963. When he was 9, his parents sent him and his brother to America for a better education. The plan was simple: live with relatives in Kentucky, study hard, build a future. This doesn't look like a school. It looks more like somewhere people get sent after they've done something very, very wrong. That's because it kind of is. Welcome to Oneida Baptist Institute. You'll learn English, discipline, and how not to complain while cleaning bathrooms. This is not how most tech CEO origin stories start, but it didn't break him. It taught him something no lecture hall could. When the situation is terrible, you adapt or you disappear. He eventually made it to Oregon State, then Stanford. Spent years at chip companies. AMD, then LSI Logic, studying semiconductors with a level of obsession that was, frankly, a little alarming. By 1992, Jensen had an idea. Graphics are going to change computing. Games are getting bigger. 3D is getting harder. CPUs can't carry this forever. Someone is going to build the chip for this new world. I think it should be us. Jensen, I have a mortgage, a stable job, and a family that currently believes I make responsible decisions. Good. Then this will be exciting. So the plan is, quit our jobs, start from zero, and build a chip for a market that barely exists? Correct. I hate that this sounds insane and also kind of logical. They called the company Nvidia. The idea was ambitious. Build one powerful graphics chip that could handle everything. A clean, universal chip for the future of gaming hardware. For 2 years, they worked. They spent every dollar they had. And in 1995, Nvidia launched its first product, the NV1. Jensen, we have a problem. Microsoft just published the DirectX spec, full triangle-based rendering pipeline. Holy crap, the NV1 runs quadratic mapping? Yes. We are the only ones going in the opposite direction. Games are about to be built from tiny flat triangles. Our chip is built for curved surfaces. We built the wrong chip with tremendous confidence. 2 years, every dollar. A chip built for a world that no longer existed. The NV1 flopped. But Nvidia still had a lifeline. Sega had contracted them to build the graphics processor for the company's next-generation console, the Dreamcast. Real money, a real chance to start over. There was only one problem. Sega's chip used the same dead-end technology. You're doing the Sega math again, aren't you? We'll spend the next year building something we already know is dead. And if we cancel, we lose the only customer still paying us. Shit. Pretty much. I miss normal employment. If we're going to die, let's die building the right chip. So Jensen flew to Japan. The chip is a dead end. You should cancel our contract and find someone else. We shouldn't finish the contract. It would be a waste of your money. There's one more thing. I still need the money. The $5 million remaining on our contract. Please put it into Nvidia as an investment instead. Otherwise, we'll vaporize overnight. I have nothing to offer you. This money will most likely be lost, but I'm asking anyway. I'll need a few days. Jensen bowed, walked out, and got on a plane. Nothing to do now but sit and wait and watch the Pacific stretch out beneath him. Jensen, you might want to see this. He opens it, eyes wide. It's a massive 10% offer on the value of BetterHelp. Just kidding. Let's be real for a second. When the outcome is completely out of your hands, the anxiety, did I make the right call? That noise won't switch off. It doesn't go away on its own. The hardest part for me was noticing the pattern. I was pushing through instead of actually dealing with anything. My therapist asked me one question. Are you solving something? Or are you rehearsing a disaster? I didn't have an answer. Just having a name for what I was doing. That single reframe broke the loop. BetterHelp, the paid partner of today's video, makes starting therapy easier. Take a short quiz, get matched with a credentialed therapist, and meet by phone, video, or text. Whatever works for your schedule. If it's not the right fit, switching costs nothing extra. And it's working. Over 6 million people have gotten help through BetterHelp, rated 4.8 out of 5 on the App Store. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/crowncapital for 10% off your first month of therapy. Every great chip needs maintenance. So do you. Hello? The money is coming. The reason the Sega CEO said yes had nothing to do with business logic. He just liked Jensen. That $5 million bought Nvidia 6 months. And now they had one last shot to build the right chip, or go bankrupt. They called it the Riva 128, triangle-based, DirectX compatible, built from scratch. Weeks of late nights, bad coffee, and absolutely zero plan B. They had exactly 1 month of payroll left in the bank to find out if it worked. The chip launched in 1997, and this time, Nvidia did not miss. Game developers could actually use it. Customers actually bought it. From the brink of bankruptcy to 1 million units sold in 4 months. Most CEOs would have taken a long vacation and slowed down a bit. He walked back into the office and wrote one word on the whiteboard: more. So by 1999, Nvidia launched the GeForce 256 and gave the world a term it didn't really have yet: GPU, Graphics Processing Unit. It was a genuine leap, a chip that handled complex 3D calculations that previously required an entirely separate processor. For gamers, this meant smoother worlds, better lighting, and monsters that looked slightly less like wet cardboard. Gamers loved it. Developers wept with joy. Revenue exploded. And by the early 2000s, Nvidia had become the king of PC graphics. Every serious gamer, every visual effects studio, every game developer on the planet. The obvious move was simple: keep making better gaming chips, sell them to gamers, become rich, buy a very large leather jacket museum. But Jensen started looking at something other people missed. A CPU is like one very smart employee doing tasks one by one, extremely fast. Meanwhile, a GPU is like 10,000 interns doing tiny calculations at once. Are the interns smart? No. But there are a lot of them, and if your problem can be broken into thousands of small calculations, physics, chemistry, weather, biology, artificial intelligence, suddenly, the chip built for video games starts looking like something else: a cheap supercomputer. Jensen looked at this and thought, what if the same chip that rendered explosions in video games could help simulate molecules, predict weather, model fluids, and maybe one day train machines to think? So in 2006, Nvidia launched CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture, a platform that lets scientists, researchers, and engineers use Nvidia GPUs for general-purpose computing. And then he committed roughly $500 million to build it. Jensen. The gaming business is printing money. Walk me through who CUDA is actually for? Researchers, scientists, people running fluid dynamics simulations, climate models, drug discovery? So, not our customers. Not yet. I'm starting to hate that phrase. This is our CUDA revenue after 2 years. Do you see a number? Not today. Jensen, this is not a business. We are subsidizing a hobby for PhD students. The PhD students are where the future starts. For the first time, they can use a gaming chip, like a supercomputer. We don't know what they'll build with it, but when they build something important, it will run on us. If they build nothing, we still have the best gaming cards in the world, and a $500 million science project. We've survived worse. 6 years passed. The gaming business kept printing money. CUDA kept printing almost nothing. And Jensen kept waiting for the problem big enough to prove him right. Then in Toronto, someone found it. It's 2012. Every year, the world's top AI researchers compete in a challenge called ImageNet. Tens of millions of images, and your software has to identify what's in them. You see the Toronto submission? Some PhD student were running a neural network on gaming cards. We've been hand-coding classifiers for a decade. Gaming cards aren't going to crack this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. The ImageNet 2012 results are final. Second place, University of Tokyo, with a 26.2% error rate. And this year's winner, University of Toronto, AlexNet, 15.3%. I'm sorry, 15? That's not a win, that's a murder scene. For years, researchers have been trying to teach computers how to see by manually designing the features they should look for. Edges, textures, shapes, patterns. AlexNet took a different path. Give the neural network enough data, enough layers, and enough computing power, and let it learn the features itself. Training a neural network requires millions of small calculations happening at the same time. Exactly the kind of work that Nvidia had been quietly perfecting for 6 years. The $500 million bet had finally found its customer. Suddenly, every major AI lab started paying attention. Stanford, MIT, Google, Meta, Microsoft. They weren't just buying graphics cards anymore. They were buying computing power for intelligence itself. And Nvidia had the hardware, the software, and the scale to deliver it. Great news for Nvidia. Until in 2022, Washington made a phone call. Before Washington called, Jensen had already tried to fix Nvidia's biggest weakness, because Nvidia designed the chips. But it didn't make them. That job belonged mostly to TSMC in Taiwan. And he didn't own the underlying architecture, the fundamental instruction set that tells processors how to think. That belonged to a British company called ARM, a company whose technology sat inside virtually every smartphone on Earth. Apple, Samsung, Qualcomm, your pocket. Their DNA, not Jensen's. So for all of Nvidia's power, Jensen was still renting the building. He owned the furniture. So in 2020, Jensen made his move. Nvidia offered $40 billion to buy ARM. Own the GPU, own the software, own the architecture. Simple. Unless you were literally everyone else in tech. Nvidia cannot own ARM. Agreed, agreed, also agreed. Wow, I hate how united we are. If Jensen owns ARM, then every chip we build runs through our most dangerous competitor? Phones, servers, AI chips, everything. So what do? We complained to every regulator with an email address. And they did. The FTC sued. The European Commission investigated. The UK blocked it on national security grounds. 18 months later, Nvidia walked away. Then Washington called. Mr. Huang. Effective immediately, advanced AI chips, the H100, can no longer be exported to China. How much revenue are we talking about? That sounds like a you problem. Just like that, some of Nvidia's biggest customers were cut off. Alibaba, Baidu, ByteDance, China's AI companies. Gone. So Nvidia did what Nvidia always did. It engineered around the problem. They built a weaker version, the H800, designed to fit inside the rules. Legal enough to ship. Powerful enough to sell. For about 5 minutes. Because by late 2023, Washington tightened the rules again. The H800 was restricted too. The message was clear. Nvidia was now a strategic weapon in America's technology war with China. Jensen wasn't just a CEO anymore. He was a piece on someone else's chessboard, moved by people he couldn't negotiate with. But while politics got messier, demand got insane. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, xAI, Microsoft. Everyone building large AI models needed the same thing. More Nvidia chips, more data centers, more power, more cooling, more everything. Blackwell, Nvidia's next generation chip, was being ordered before factories could even finish making it. By October 2025, Nvidia crossed $5 trillion in market value. The most valuable company on Earth, ahead of Google, ahead of Apple. Not bad for a company that once had 30 days of cash left and one very wrong chip. None of it was supposed to work. Every single bet looked insane from the outside, and every single one paid off. As what he himself said, "My will to survive exceeds everybody else's will to kill me."